Hello and welcome to this session, Project Explorer in Civil 3D at IMAGINiT Elevate. I am your host, Brian Johnson, a civil applications expert at IMAGINiT. Today, we are going to explore a new tool in Civil 3D that is designed to improve efficiency and extend functionality from within a central hub. Autodesk provides Project Explorer as an entitlement to the AEC collection, and when installed, it is launched from inside of Civil 3D. With the release of Civil 3D 2022, Autodesk has provided a new button to launch Project Explorer. It can be found on the Home tab of the ribbon, just to the right of the Palettes panel. Project Explorer will open into a floating window that can be moved and left open while working. Typically, when I'm working, I like to push it off to another screen. But for today's session, I'm going to leave it front and center. Let's take a tour of the Project Explorer interface. It is broken down into three categories. The top section is our profile or section view pane. Center section is an object list pane. And in the bottom, we have a sub-object list pane. At the very top, we have different tabs that represent the different objects that we have access to. Depending on which object we have selected, we'll have buttons that allow us to interact with our view. At the bottom, we have other tools that allow us to interact with our view, such as turning the grid on or off, or changing the scale. In our object list pane, it provides a list of the objects that are in Civil 3D. When I select an object, the section or profile view pane will change to show me the information about that object. In this example, I have an alignment and I have some profiles that are associated to that alignment. As you can see, when I select something like a profile, a shaded area may show up because I have shading turned on to show me the profile area. Also, in my object list pane, I see information around that particular object. So as you can see, very quickly, I've already found a way just to be able to get to information about an object. Below the object pane is my sub-object list pane. And because I have an alignment selected, I can see the data associated with that particular alignment. So for example, I have a tab here for calculated stations. I have an alignment entities tab whereby I can see the different entities. And also graphically, I can see where those entities occur, the data associated with those entities. So very quickly, I'm able to get to that information. With built-in keyboard shortcuts, I have some tools that allow me to navigate and select objects. For example, if I select Jeffries Ranch Road in my object list pane and press the Z key on my keyboard, I will quickly zoom to that particular alignment. If I want to select that alignment, I can press the S key on my keyboard and it will select it. If I'm not quite sure where Jeffries Ranch Road is in my drawing, I can press the Control key and it will highlight it. And if I want to quickly get to the properties of Jeffries Ranch Road, I can press the A key. And actually, you can press the A or the E key for this purpose. I find this interface very useful in order to be able to find information when I need it very quickly. Just taking a look at some of the other objects, things like my assemblies, where I can look at the different assembly information, but also look at the subassembly associated to it and the data associated with that subassembly. so quickly I was able to see that information. Corridors, surfaces, pipe networks, and in 2022 we now have pressure pipe networks. One of the highlights of Project Explorer is that it gives us the ability to manage and edit Civil 3D objects within the application. Object parameters displayed in a color and with a white background on the object or sub-object panes can be edited by double-clicking on that parameter. Any change to a parameter's value is immediate and can be seen in the Project Explorer and in Civil 3D directly. As you can see, if I go to my Assembly tab and I want to take a look at this residential full assembly, in my sub-object pane, I see the sub-assemblies and the data associated with those sub-assemblies. For example, I see that I have a negative 2% slope. If I wanted to edit that, I can double-click on it and make any change in the values here. Or if I wanted to make a change to the width, double-click on that, make my change, and that change is immediate. You can see that take place in my graphics window at the top, and also in my Civil 3D drawing, I see that changed immediately. So it gives me the ability to make changes to object parameters, but also gives me the ability to create new objects. So for example, if I go into my surfaces collection, there's a button on the far left at the top that provides me all the different options for creating a surface. Some objects, such as surfaces, feature lines, and pipe networks, have specific editing features. So if I right-click on a surface, it gives me tools such as the ability to raise and lower the surface, rebuild the surface. Feature lines give me tools to be able to work with the feature line and make edits to it. Pipe networks give me some really unique tools in that at the bottom I can choose my pipe run tab, select any one of the pipes, right click on it, and choose any one of the tools that I have here, like set pipe slope elevation. And I can make changes to the start elevation, the pipe elevation changes, or slopes here. Additionally, one tool that I really like is at the top. I can choose Edit Pipe Run and make a change across the entire run. Often we need to change how an object is displayed in Civil 3D by setting it to a different style. There are several ways to make that happen. However, there are times when we need to change the assigned style on multiple objects at a time, and Project Explorer can do that. If we take a look at our surfaces collection, and we see that we have several surfaces here, one with a style set to contours 2 and 10, and several set to no display, and some others here. So for example, if I just want to take these three and set them all to no display, I can highlight all three of these surfaces, right click, and choose Set Surface Styles. Then I can actually change the display or the style for all three surfaces at one time. For me, Project Explorer has really provided a great way to be able to navigate the Civil 3D objects that I have in my drawing. find the information that I need, be able to make edits to those objects as I need to, see those edits occur quickly on the screen or immediately on the screen. And I haven't had to open dialogs and close dialogs and move from one dialog to another and move around my screen to be able to select items to pull out my contextual ribbon. I've really just been able to do everything I needed to right in the Project Explorer interface. Another highlight of Project Explorer is its reporting capabilities. There are two ways to create reports from within Project Explorer. One is a quick reporting tool, and another is object sets. First, we're going to talk about the quick reporting tool. It is launched by selecting the object you want the report based on and right-clicking to open the menu with options for several commands. So for example, with an alignment, such as Jeffrey's Ranch Road in this case, when I right-click on Jeffrey's Ranch Road, I'm going to have options to create a quick report to a file, with also an option to create a quick report to an AutoCAD table. At the top of the dialog, we can provide a file name to save our report to. In the dropdown, there are some options to choose from defined fields, such as object name. We can also type in this field. There are various file types, such as text file, CSV, HTML, PDF, Word documents, RTFs, and Excel files. You'll see an example of the name and the type of file shown underneath. We have a layout style for quick report area that allows us to control the column information that's shown in our report. We can choose to use layout of Project Explorer window, which uses the columns that are in our current Project Explorer window. We can also customize our layout style. With this, I can choose the object report that I want to control, such in this case an alignment. Then I can choose the different column chooser for the different reports that I want to be able to create. For example, calculated stations. With this, I can control my columns that are shown in my report by checking them on and off. I can also change the order by clicking on the arrows on the right side. I also have information here at the bottom that I may want to update or make changes to. Once I get everything oriented the way that I want, I can save this out to an external file, which allows me to reuse that over again by going to open and reusing it. Once I have that set, I also have the ability to control whether I want to see object tables, sub-object tables, or both in my report. The next thing that I have control over is my report style. Report styles provide the ability to set page controls such as size, orientation, margins, headers, and footers. With those tabs, I can set all the various settings for my report. This can also be saved out and reused for later. Once you click on OK, it's going to ask you where to store the file, and you can save it in your project or wherever you need. You're always going to get this dialog to let you know that the report has been generated, but you also wish to review the content. I chose a PDF file, and as you can see here, it's giving me my station, northing, easting, and bearing because I chose calculated station report for my alignment, and the column headings that I chose for my layout. Similar to quick report to file, we can also create a quick report to an AutoCAD table. We also have a way to create a name for our table. Same options for layout styles. In this case, we're going to have the ability to choose if we have AutoCAD table styles set up in our drawing. We can choose a specific style that's set for our tables. Or we can customize the Project Explorer table style. But this is asking me where I would like to place my table in my drawing. So basically just a location where I want my table to be placed. During the course of our projects, we often find that there's a need to share one of the Civil 3D objects with someone that has AutoCAD. Something like a surface that they just want to have the contours from. Project Explorer has a solution just for this purpose. It provides functionality to export specific Civil 3D objects to a drawing file that can be opened in any application that supports the DWG file type. The exported Civil 3D model results in 2D entities representing an object in plan view. As an example, I'm going to export a surface to an AutoCAD drawing file so that I can share the contour lines. I'm going to use this spaceball filled surface that was created from a grading object. And currently the surface style is set to no display. One thing that I want to be sure of is if I want to get the contours out of this surface, I want to make sure the style is set to show contours. So let me go ahead and change the surface style to one that I can see the contours with. When I'm ready to export that out, I'm going to right click on the object name and I'll choose Quick Export to 2D AutoCAD Drawing File. I can go ahead and give that new drawing a name. I'll get a dialog that says that it's finished generating the file and ask me if I wish to open the drawing. So at the end of that process, I do have a new AutoCAD drawing with polylines that represent the contours for my surface. The results of exporting to an AutoCAD 2D drawing file are AutoCAD entities such as lines, arcs, polylines, and depending on the object that was selected. Text from labels such as alignment labels will be exported as mtext in AutoCAD blocks. Corridors also have a unique feature that allows you to filter specific baselines and feature lines. As you can see, in addition to the efficiencies that Project Explorer introduces to Civil 3D, there are also some beneficial tools that extends functionality. The last topic in today's session on Project Explorer for Civil 3D is around the use of object sets, another highlight in the software. Object sets provide a way to automate the creation of reports, AutoCAD tables, and 2D drawings, and do so with individual objects or a combination of multiple objects. Object set definitions are saved to a drawing and can contain specific actions that can be used to launch the set. There are two ways to build object sets. One way is to right-click on any object in the object pane and select Add to Object Set. And then choose New Object Set. In this dialog, I'm able to create the object set and define its parameters, such as the object set name. Object sets are controlled by setting an action. My actions can be reporting to different file types, export to a 2D drawing file, export to AutoCAD tables in model space or paperspace. If I were to choose to add this to a table in AutoCAD, I would also get the option to set the action type, manual or dynamic, which means if I'm set to dynamic, the AutoCAD table will update if anything changes in my drawing. If it's set to manual, then it's a more manual process to update the table. The dynamic update only occurs for AutoCAD tables. As we've seen already, layout styles control the way our tables look and the content. Table styles can be saved and reused, as well as report styles. Once I've created my object set, it will show up in the Object Set tab. Object sets can contain more than one object in them at a time to report on. So in this example, I'm going to grab all of my parcel objects and add them to my existing set. And on my Object Set tab, I'll see the object set that I created, and below that I'll see all the objects that are contained in the set. In order to run the action and get my report, I go up to the button here that says Run Selected Action. That will generate the report and ask me if I want to open the file. The second method for creating an object set happens on the Object Set tab. Once I'm here, I can click on the button on the far left top corner to create a new object set. It is the same workflow that was used earlier. Pick my template for my name, set my output path, choose my report style, and click on OK. So one difference in this process would be that I just created the object set itself. To add objects to the set, in the object pane, I want to click on the plus sign. And from the dialog, I'm going to choose Pipe Networks and choose the network that I want to be included in this set. And below that, I can see in my sub-object category the objects that will be added to the set. Same as in the parcel index report earlier, When I'm ready to run the report, I choose Run Selected Action. And the resulting report will open. Any object sets that I create will persist in the drawing, so anytime I reopen this drawing, the object sets will be found here. I find Project Explorer to be a very useful tool that has been added to Civil 3D. It provides extended functionality and improved efficiency all within a single location. It allows us to work with Civil 3D objects by editing them and also creating reports on those objects. So I hope you found this series to be helpful in learning more about Project Explorer. Should you need any assistance or have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us at IMAGINiT.